myself and my brother, we run a turnkey rental investing business. So we buy properties, rehab them, put a tenant in them, and then sell that property to another investor and then manage that ongoing. And so we will probably buy, rehab, and sell over 100, maybe close to 120 properties this year. And we do we buy some rentals. We'll do some kind of just traditional flips as well, kind of traditional retail flips. And we also own a property management company. And so we were, I'd say, fairly up to date in terms of just kind of traditional AP and AR and some stuff on a monthly basis. But in terms of having our books closed on a monthly basis consistently, making sure that we were caught up to speed so that we could review monthly financials and really I'd say the structure, the organization, and then also some of the a little bit higher level items we were tremendously behind on. So we were not ready for really being able to look at our financials on a monthly, quarterly basis, ready to get things, taxes filed on a kind of easy standpoint. We were, in my eyes, and I've run a couple of businesses, and I'm like things to be very kind of buttoned down. We were a complete mess in my terms, but we did have, we had a foundation, but we were, we had a lot of work to do. Our businesses run on a lot of expenses. So we spend a lot of money rehabbing our houses. We spend a lot of money in marketing. We spend, money is flowing out the door. And so not being able to see how we're doing and look and go, yeah, no, we're actually making money. That's just a recipe for disaster. And as we were starting to really scale up, we would look and go, oh, we're out of money. Like all the money's gone. And, we just didn't have very good controls to know when, if anything, we needed to kind of tighten the belt or turn the spigot off in terms of, money going out the door. So, it's been a huge impact. I'd say it's probably over the last year, one of the biggest impacts that we've had, and we've made some very big changes over the last year, but we would not have been able to do that if it wasn't for me and Kristen. To start, she helped us go through a big cleanup project. And that took probably, 4 to 6 weeks to go back and just make sure that even from a historical standpoint, going back a couple of years, making sure that we were really, really tightly buttoned up. And then really going forward is setting in a really good cadence and rhythm of when, how we close our months out, when things are getting accomplished, a great resource to go to for questions that come up or, unique situations, how to handle things. She's absolutely incredible when it comes to, I've got a question, her response to, hey, can we set up a call? She's phenomenal at that. I have found, and this is a lot of folks in the accounting world aren't very prompt to get back, are very slow at response, if even responding. And so she's been a tremendous breath of fresh air in the sense of she's made a huge impact in terms of we are completely up to date. We close out our months. We have the ability to then review them. And it's been incredibly helpful for us we've made some really big hiring decisions recently. And a lot of that came from, we know our numbers, we know exactly where we are, and we can, feel comfortable to say, hey, we're going to step into, a couple $100,000 of new salaries for new team members. And we know that, that's something that we can absorb. And, kind of for a smaller company, it's been tremendously impactful. And then it's also, I think I can't stress enough while we haven't had to do it as much lately, but Kristen, I feel like downplays a little bit in terms of her knowledge and breadth of knowledge. Because I've worked with other bookkeepers, she is incredibly knowledgeable. And so we can go to her with just about anything other than maybe something our accountant would want to see or something like that. And she'll, has either a knowledge base or been able to kind of steer us in the right direction and kind of how we need to handle something. And so that's been one of the other big things, is just knowing that, the knowledge that she has is huge. In the first half of last year, we've outpaced our revenue for all of last year. And so we should be we're on track to more than double our revenue from last year. If not, we might, double it and then some. Last year, we probably did around total transactions, maybe around 50 This year we'll probably do closer to 150, and that's kind of all types of transactions, whether it's us buying rentals to flips to, we do some wholesaling. We bought some short-term rentals. So our overall volume has significantly increased. And one of the things I really like is we've done that, but we really haven't had to increase our manpower. We've just gotten a lot better at being very systematized. Now we've increased our manpower with key hires to position us for future growth, but to go from where we were to where we are, we haven't had to really staff up. We've just made some kind of process changes, kind of figured out kind of where we needed to be staffing wise in order for us to handle all of that. Her professionalism's like off the charts. So like you just don't deal, unfortunately in today's world, you don't deal with many people. When you send them something, they can get back to you. And not only that, can they get back to you, but they can help you solve your issue quickly. And if there's ever follow-up needed, she does an awesome job of, I'm the kind of person that, especially in the accounting side, I don't love accounting. It's not why God put me on this earth. And so it's one of those things where, and neither does my business partner. And so she does an awesome job of, just kind of gently pinging us a few days later, a week later, saying, hey, I'm still waiting on this. And that's the kind of, that's the kind of relationship I need. She's been just completely awesome. I've told her in the past that, we have a little bit of a higher level of accounting, I think, than most folks. And so she was able to step in and handle that right away. And we have talked to, I'd say, at least 10 other firms, and they were not really set up or suited or had the ability to handle kind of what we were doing. And so and just all that together, it's been an awesome experience. I'm in a part of a group. It's called Investor Fuel, and I think there's 300-ish so members. It's a real estate mastermind, and we meet every quarter. And I think last year at one of the meetings, one of my gives was Kristen and kind of her company. And I'll tell you, it's the same thing I told all of them is, if you're looking for a really good high level bookkeeper who has, huge knowledge base, ton of experience, and is just really good at what she does, professional, responsive, really all the things that you'd be looking for. She's a great choice and great person to work with.